So I never thought that I would hit rock bottom until I woke up literally on a huge landscaping rock with a backpack as a pillow. And I was homeless, broken, addicted, and what I felt like was forgotten. But I didn't stay on that rock. I'm creating Rock Bottom Radio for the thousands of stories like mine. Stories of abuse, addiction, trauma, survival, and rebirth. Stories that we've never heard before because nobody ever asked. This isn't just a podcast, it's a mic for the broken, a seat for the table, or a seat at the table for the silent. I come back for the ones who never thought they'd get back up. So I'm Aleshia, and this is Rock Bottom Radio. Because we hit bottom so we could rise. Yes, yes, yes. So, welcome to my first episode of Rock Bottom Radio. I'm Aleshia McFadden, and I'm not just your host. I'm proof that rock bottom is not where the story ends, okay? I'm not like a famous person. I'm not a famous creator or anything like that. Nothing like that. I just want to share with the world that rock bottom doesn't have to be rock bottom. It's not where the story ends. But my rock bottom was literally rock bottom when I say I found myself homeless and sleeping on a huge landscaping rock. That's where I laid my head after losing everything to addiction, trauma, and pain that I never thought I would survive. But I didn't just die on that rock, or I didn't die on that rock. I didn't stay on that rock. So, this show is for the ones who are still laying there, still hiding their stories, still holding onto their screams. This show is for you, okay? Each week, we're here to hear real stories, so I'm going to start trying to gain some viewers and some guests and stuff like that, and get people on here who want to share their stories, who have never gotten a chance to share their stories, or who couldn't bring themselves to share their stories. So that's what we're here for. We're not afraid of the dark here, because if you made it to the bottom, that means you're still alive. And if you're still alive, that means that you can thrive. So let's start this conversation. Okay, so like I said, my name is Aleshia McFadden. I'm 36 years old, born and raised. I was born in Kaufman, Texas, small town outside of Dallas. Lived there my entire life, and I've gone through it. Like, I've been through the ringer. I am a recovering addict. I am a domestic abuse survivor, and I am a Jesus lover. I believe that no matter which route and which direction our life goes, I believe that we can change our lives and change the path of our lives for the better. And I'm glad I picked myself up off of that landscaping rock, and I found my way, because I was in the darkest place I had ever been in my entire life. I was in an abusive relationship from 2012 to 2015 that literally I fought every day for my life for, basically. My life was on the line 24/7, no matter what. My life was on the line. I never knew if I was going to live. I just knew this man was going to kill me. And luckily I found my way out. I warned the girl that came along and took my place, and I warned her, and I tried to give her a heads up and let her know that she was putting herself in a very dangerous situation. Luckily, she's still alive today also, praise the Lord. And I took that as my I gotta get out of there moment, and I ran for the hills. Haven't seen the dude ever since. Never seen him again in a day in my life. He dropped me off at home and left me there, and he went and picked up this new girl and told me he was in a relationship with this new girl. And so that was my saving grace right there. So I took it and I ran with it, and I took myself to treatment in 2017. Got clean and sober, 7 years. I've had some setbacks since then, but I am on my recovery, or I'm walking my recovery path, and I am trying to do better. And I just want to share with the world. Like, I want to hear stories. I want to talk to people who want to share their story and just haven't been able to do that yet. So I want to make this a place for the broken, a place for the healing, a place for the people who want to share their stories. So here we are. I'm starting this podcast, and it's what it is. So it's kind of a personal development channel that I'm starting, a personal development channel with some workouts and personal development. And I'm starting this podcast. So here we are. Now, I don't know if you have anybody in your life that has ever been through or suffered from abuse, whether it be family abuse as a child, sexual abuse, elderly abuse, domestic abuse. No matter what type of abuse anybody goes through, it's very traumatizing, and it is terrible on the brain. PTSD is a real thing, and it is something that Oh my gosh, I suffered with PTSD and I still suffer with PTSD since 2015. I still suffer with PTSD. I still go through my phases of where I hear voices. I try to stay medicated, but I don't like staying medicated because I don't feel like I've ever found the right medication. I feel like I want to make this my outlet instead of trying to go and be medicated. I've never been able to find a good psychologist, which is what I wanted, versus a psychiatrist. And I always seem to find myself with the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist does me no good because they just want to put me on drugs and medicate me, and the medication never seems to work. So I'm going to use this as my outlet for my mental health journey of growing and bettering myself mentally and physically. It's going to be my personal development and kind of just better myself and better, let's better ourselves together one day at a time is the way that I look at it. It's always better to, have a group and have a community and have a following and have friends and family and loved ones, people that surround you with nothing but love, joy, peace, and happiness in life, because I believe that that's what life is all about. So yes, this first little podcast, it's not going to be long. This first episode's not going to be long. I'm just going to give you all a little rundown of what Rock Bottom Radio all is about and why it's called Rock Bottom Radio. Because I literally realized that I had hit my rock bottom when I found myself sleeping on a landscaping rock. It was about maybe 5 feet wide and 2 feet off the ground. Sleeping on a landscaping rock with a backpack as a pillow for 3 days and having absolutely nowhere to go, walking around town with nowhere to go. I burned my bridges. My family didn't. I burned my bridges. Like, I didn't want to help myself mentally. I tried to find medication and I tried to help myself, but it just wasn't working for me, and I was addicted and trying to kick my habit, and it was just a bad situation. So I'm just grateful that I'm not at that place in life anymore, and I want to be able to share my story and be able to sit back and chit chat back and forth with guests and people that I can bring on, and just share our stories together, because that's what it's about. Once you share that story and you get it out of you and off of your chest and out of your insides and the weight that it bears on your shoulders, once you get it off of you, it's like, oh my God, such a great feeling. My throat just made such a scratchy noise. So it's just like, once you get that weight of that story off of you and you can start opening up and talking about it, like, things start changing for you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So I want to be this place for the people who want to share their stories and who have been through traumatizing situations in their life. I want them to tell me about their trauma, and I know I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I'm just a girl from Texas and wants to, kind of help people through their situations and help them rise and, grow and build and better. So that's what this is about here. So thank you so much for joining me. Give me a subscribe or a follow, however YouTube works. I'm familiarizing myself with the social media platforms. Like I said, I'm trying to become a creator, I guess, to be able to, just grow a community and a following and stuff like that, to be able to share stories and just help people. So let's do this together, y'all. I can't wait to meet new people and just see where this journey takes me. So thank y'all for joining my first episode of Rock Bottom Radio, and I will see y'all again in a few days. Have a good one. Bye.